Hey everybody, Typort here, coming to you from my Redstone testing world. And today, I've got a tutorial for you for a secret spy door. It's actually a door I've done before underneath staircases, um, but you could still see from the inside, you could see the redstone, so you knew there was a door there. And I've reworked it, so now it's completely hidden on the outside and the inside. So if you wanted to have two separate rooms, um, then nobody knows there's a room on the other side of the wall. So this is my sample of what your room could look like. And there's a door here. And nobody would know unless you showed them or they watched this video. So don't let your friends see this if you're trying to hide something. But anyways, this right here is a door. This note block gets pulled down, this wall gets pulled down, and the door opens up when I put a redstone torch right there. Okay, so you come through this side, and this is your secret cave where you're doing laundry or washing your dishes or whatever. And you take this water out, covers the wall back up. And there's no trace of any redstone. There's no buttons. There's no levers. There's just a couple sinks for you to do whatever you're doing down here. Then you come through and you can use them in any order. It doesn't matter. You can close it from here and then open it from here. So they're completely independent of each other. So you can't get locked in or you have to wait for somebody to open it from the outside or whatever. But yeah, so this is just a sample of what my room looks like. You can design yours however you want. The only thing is there's a piston underneath this barrel that you have to hide. And there's redstone behind this barrel that you have to hide. And then you would need to put a wall or something over here, which I'm sure if you're building this in a house or a castle or whatever, it's not going to look funny if you have a wall inside. And then over here, just right there. So that's the only exposed redstone. And then I've got two different colored walls. This is stone and this is birch. So I put a painting here so that you can't see the wall from the other side. You could easily just put more barrels, more note blocks, a shelf, upside down stairs or whatever. You could even put your wall here, make this in a hallway, whatever, as long as you can reach this block right there or move your input somewhere. Can't figure that out, leave a comment and I'll help you out there. This is what it looks like without the wall flooring. So this is my note block. This is my wall. Throw that on there. Pushes that stuff up. Pushes this wall over so that you can't see the stairs underneath. And then obviously you'll want to cover this up so that you can't see that. Which you can see over here I just put my wall there so you can't see it. But it is 6 deep and 7 wide. And you have to dig down 3. I dug out a little more so it's not crowded. But this is where we're going to build it. So this is all you need. Everything I have in my hotbar. And then I've got the amounts in here. So you need 9 redstone dust, 1 note block, 6 sticky pistons, 2 regular pistons, 4 repeaters, 1 comparator, 16 observers, some blocks to build with and make your wall and your floor, whatever. Technically in mine it's 2 cauldrons, but you only need 1. I like having 2, so you can empty the water and put it in the other one, then pick the water up, put it back in the other one, so you don't have to carry water with you or an empty bucket. You'd have to carry both technically, or whatever. The painting is optional, and then for the input, you need your water and your redstone torch. So let's go ahead and build this. So here's your hole. From where the door is, that's right here. So you're gonna need to dig 2 to the left, and then 3 to the right. That's right. Let me double check. Yeah. So okay, 4 if you count that one. So yeah, 2 to the left, 4 to the right. From here, these 2, and then these 4, all the way over to this line. So it'll be 7 total this way, 6 back, 3 down, 1, 2, 3. In this spot right here, this is the red's your input, green's your wall. So this spot right here, you either need to dig 1 further down, or you need to use a trapdoor, make yourself go into swim 1 block high so you can place an observer. So other than that, just go ahead and dig out, like I said, wherever your door is. You want to go to the left 2, to the right 4, for a total of 7, counting the block that you're standing on. Then you need to go 6 back. So dig that out, and then we can start building. So I've got a little mock-up here. Green is your wall, same as on the floor. This brown is where I had my note block. You can have any block, as long as a piston can pull it or push it. So workstations don't work at the moment, so lecterns and barrels, archery, fletching stuff, like that's not going to work as far as I know. But any other, stair, block, whatever you want. I use note blocks because in my texture pack they look like crates. So they're good for just throwing against a wall. So this red is going to be your input. That's your note block. That's your wall. Okay, this is floor level. So go ahead and get rid of these. Got it on the floor. So your input and your wall is right there. So I've got this L in this blue and purple. So where we're standing in front of the note block, or 2, technically 2 in front of your wall. Okay. So we've got the purple is going to be a repeater. So right in front of you, between you and the wall, 3 blocks down. Repeater on 2 ticks. Very important, it's on 2 ticks. Then you're going to go redstone dust, 2, and then 2 more back. Okay, now on these purple, another repeater on 2, and another repeater on 4. Okay, then we're going to crouch, put 2 observers looking at those repeaters. We're going to put a block here, any solid block, doesn't matter, a note block there, and then if you don't want your door to make noises, put a block on top of it and it'll stop. Because every time that repeater goes off, that's going to make your note block chime. Okay? So then looking at that note block, we want another observer and then another block behind it. Okay? Well, we've got the blocks in our hand. Over here at this L, we're going to make a V right next to it. Okay? And then we're going to put a block right there on top of that corner piece. Because we want to make sure that redstone doesn't come up here. And we need that block to be powered by our input. So 2 redstone dust and a repeater facing towards your input. Okay. And now above your input, you can crouch, place it on your repeater. We need a solid block. And then we can grab our observer again. And next to this block, looking towards that repeater, towards this block, we want an observer, and then an observer looking at that observer. 2 more blocks on the floor here with redstone on them. Okay. Now we can go over here And we've got this redstone line with the repeater going into this block, which is where our input's going to be. Put a piston, and then whatever floor block you're using. So I'll just go ahead and use spruce. Why not? Okay. So that's your input right there. Now, next to your input, okay, on the same level as your floor, you need a piston. Okay, and now I like to throw a temporary block underneath it, jump in this little hole or go into swim mode, whatever you need to do. And then looking up at that piston, I'm going to put an observer there, and then an observer right there on that block we placed, cutting off that signal right above that line. We can get rid of our temporary block. So now when we put a redstone torch through quasi connectivity and all that crap, it's gonna shoot that piston over here. That observer's gonna see it. It's gonna fire that. When this block gets powered, it's gonna power this line, which controls our door. It's also going to power this line, which breaks our input, which gives us our torch back. Okay, so that's what that does. Now, right here, where this redstone is, we want to put an observer facing down, and we want to put a total of 3, so 2 more. So that one, plus 1, 2, redstone dust. Okay, so now we're back over here. So on this observer here, we want 2 more observers looking at it. So whenever that one fires, it's going to see that one, and then that one's going to see it and power this one. Okay, now we're going to get where our door is. That's our floor level. So right here on this block, 2 sticky pistons. Down here, we need an observer looking at that repeater, and then 1 sticky piston on top of that. So all this is nice and flush. Okay, now we need an observer looking at that redstone right there. So right here, you want an observer right there. So it's looking at the redstone, powering back. Okay, so then standing on this observer, we're going to get a sticky piston and a sticky piston. Then this is going to be our wall. So in my example over there, it was cobblestone. It's whatever's going to get pushed next to your cauldrons. So I'm going to put stone brick. Okay, so now we need to put in our floor. So right here, I'm going to put my note block, but you put whatever block you want it to push up, hiding the fact that there's a door here. And then this one is going to be your wall. So I'll just grab my birch, why not? So that's going to be your wall. Okay? And then we need a solid block here, which when you come through, it's going to be the same as the floor level back here. So if you want to make that stone or cobblestone or, you know, mossy whatever your floor is inside your secret room, that's going to be your floor there. Okay? Now, continuing along, we want 2 to the left of that, or the right of that, whichever way, 2 this way. And this is where your input's going to go. Your input on this side is going to be right there. And then, like I said, I like to have 2, but that second one is optional. Okay? So now we need a block right there for the wall. Okay? And then it's going to read that water right here. Okay? So to do that, well, we'll just throw a temporary block right there in line with the cauldron. Jump down here. Have an observer looking at that block and an observer looking at that observer. Get rid of that block and replace it with a comparator. Now you want that comparator facing this way, okay? So that it's going to read, with this block here, it will read through the wall and it'll pick up that cauldron. So whether you have 1 drop of water, 2 drops of water, 3 drops of water, doesn't matter. It will pull a signal, and any signal level that it has, that observer is going to notice the comparator turning on. Then that observer will notice that one, which will power this block. Okay? Now we come back to the front, And where we've got this observer, it's going to be looking. So this observer sees that. That observer powers this block, which powers that piston. So when it powers that piston, this observer is going to see it. And that's going into our input line, which opens the door. So you put a torch here, it fires this piston, which powers this observer. Put water here, fires that piston, which powers that observer. And they both power the same stairs, or the same wall, or the same door, however you want to look at it. Okay? So that's how that all works. Then, grab your redstone torch. Everything gets pushed into place. Grab your water. Everything gets pulled back. And now it's fully functioning. See, it's off. Now it's on. Come over here. Close the door. It's still on, but it doesn't matter because they're independent. Take the water. Now it turns off. It pulls everything back up. So to decorate it, that's up to you. But I'll show you. What I did is I had a wall here. And then... Nope, that was this way. Had a wall here and a wall here. And a wall this way. And then over here, I think it was right here. Something like that. And then you'll fill in your floor. I know I'm using all stone bricks, but hey, maybe your secret room's in a castle. You never know. So then right here, put your wall there, and that's where I put my painting so that you can't see the stone brick from this side. And then you can cover up this. You can cover up that. Doesn't matter. Throw your floor in here. And I mean, you can do your room however you want. It's totally up to you. But doing a really quick job over here. This, sure, why not? And then, like I said, over here, you can't cover that up because that's got to get pushed. And if you use the sticky piston, I don't know, it might mess something up, but you don't need it. So just do that. Grab yourself some note blocks, or we'll go get some barrels. And I mean, you can put whatever. Barrel there, put a barrel there. Get rid of that, put a barrel. Put a barrel on top of there. Barrels like that, whatever you want. And then, like I said, grab the painting. Right there. And I just throw a painting there so nobody will know. And then it all still work. And you notice you don't hear the note blocks firing because I covered up that down there. And the other thing you want to know, or I should mention, is if this is your input. So if these are note blocks, you'll hear those too. So maybe you want to use that to your advantage. You know, actually even here, if you wanted, you know, grab like a pumpkin, because why not, right? So grab a pumpkin, throw your pumpkin down here, then put your note block, change the sound of it. Maybe you want to have a some kind of thing and use it to your advantage. You could do ice. Ice is kind of fun, I think. Go down here and put ice. That back up. Now, you've got that sound. So you can play with it how you want, or if you don't want it to make any sound, like I said, just make sure those aren't note blocks. And you're good to go. Completely hidden by entrance doorway thing. And just like I said, you got to cover up that on that side, and you got to cover up that on that side. The only other thing is, like I said, that one and that one, which, I mean, honestly, I think you could even, that is not a painting. Thought you could do a painting over a thing, but maybe they took that out. I don't know. I don't really do paintings. But yeah, just, those are easy to cover up. Or like I said, you can have your wall come in right there if you wanted to. Make a shorter room. Painting back. Should still work. So maybe you've got a smaller room than I did, and then you don't need all this. It doesn't matter. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to leave it a like and all that stuff. And if you have any requests or anything, hopefully I'll get back to my tree series in the near future. But I haven't had time to record lately, so catch you guys later.